Hello and welcome to the fifth video in this second tutorial series on making an RPG. Quick note on that, I think that I've kind of settled on what I want to do. I got inspired by something that a coworker said a couple months ago, and he was mentioning wanting to see a turn-based MMO, and I was trying to think of how to make something like that happen. And what I settled on was if you took a roguelike and you put a fixed turn length on it, let's say 5 seconds to 10 seconds, somewhere in there, then you could create a game in which you could have multiple people playing that roguelike. And then if you added action RPG elements and MMO elements, like, cast times and moving more than one block in a turn and stuff like that, I think you could produce something kind of cool. Now, in this case, we're not going to make the MMO, at least not at this point. But what we will do is we'll make a roguelike with more traditional RPG properties. So that's kind of where I want to go. I figured I'd mention that. Let me know what you guys think. I'm still open to changing it at this point, but I think that's where I want to go, and I think it'd be easy for everybody to understand the programming on, the basics of it and everything, and I think that would be great. And, we can make solid progress from tutorial to tutorial. Today what we're trying to do... Oh, I didn't relabel this. Looky there. What a bad tutorial guy I am. Let's fix this. We're gonna prep gameplay and character screen. We're not actually going to make the character screen, but we're going to get all the way up to it, and then the next tutorial will be on the character screen. So if that's interest to you, make sure you follow this through so you're ready for it. First thing we're doing is we're going to make the gameplay class. We'll hook that up. Then we're going to make the new character screen class. We're going to hook that up. I have a background. This is what it looks like. I know, so different than the other one. I'm really creative when it comes to that stuff, obviously. I will give you that. Don't worry. I will link it in the prepared materials. And then we're going to do the bug fixes and link it all up. At the end, we'll be ready to start on the character screen next week. We're not going to do anything crazy. We're just going to add some kind of basic stuff with arrows and boxes and, let you put in... Let you pick your avatar, let you pick your class, and, we'll do something super simple. It's not going to be like crazy great art, but it'll be like, avatar circle, avatar square, avatar, triangle. And it'll be like, warrior mage or something like that. We'll just pick 2 classes to make real quick, the bases of, and then if we have time, we'll go through and we'll add maybe some stat allocation. Okay. That's the goal today. Really, this is just prepping to get everything in, and so I guess let's jump right in. The first thing we need to do is we need to create the gameplay class, and the gameplay class is relatively simple to begin with, but it is, as you guys know if you watched the previous one, it is kind of our base class for running everything. I need a drink real quick, one sec. Okay, so in source here, we're going to create a gameplay class. So add new item, gameplay. I don't remember if I usually put a capital P or a lowercase p, but we'll use capital. Doesn't matter. Gameplay can be 1 or 2 words, I guess. Just depends on what you want. Let's grab our our includes. We always want those. Chop down our namespace. Again, you're welcome to always do namespaces, but I'm not going to focus on them for the tutorials. Okay, so public class gameplay, then just public gameplay for our constructor. And then the update and draw. We'll just make blank ones. Not that I think I'll override that, but it's a habit to do virtual. Draw. Okay, so we have that, real simple, nothing special there. When we click our login, or not login, we don't need login. We're not dealing with that right now. When we deal our main menu, main, where did we stick that? Oh, we don't have a main menu, so I guess we got to create that too. I thought we had that. All right, well, let's create that. No big deal. Not a problem. So that one goes outside source. So add new class main menu. Add. I thought for sure we had that. Let me double check before I'm being crazy. No, we don't have it here. Okay. No problem. Okay, so main menu, same thing as we just did with gameplay. Go through here. We will take all of this because it's going to be identical, except for change this to main menu. Copy that, paste there. Oh, copy that, paste there. Got it. Okay, main menu, very simple. We have, let me run this. I want to see where we're at with this project actually, since I lost where I was. Okay, we literally don't have anything. Got it. Source content 2D UI backgrounds. Cool. We need that. So let's do that. Let's create backgrounds. In backgrounds, we are going to add, I guess I will give you both of these. They're two backgrounds. They look almost identical. I don't have the other one's just a recolor, so they're basically the same. We're going to select them both and say content, and then copy if newer. And then if you remember, and I actually have a solution for this I need to deal with, but I'm not going to deal with it today. But for our Android one, we have to come in through here and do the same thing. And add the Android versions. Hold on one sec. There we go. They go here. And this one is Android asset. We've been over that, but I just want to say it again. Copy if newer. All right. So we've kept up with that. Yay. Good. We have these in. We need to do main menu. In main menu, we are going to have a public basic 2D BKG. We are going to public pass object play click del and exit click del. So those will be the two buttons that we need for right now. One to advance the game and one to exit the game. Very simple. We're going to do public list. We need a list of buttons. Button 2D buttons equals new. Okay. In main, we're going to pass it. In fact, I actually think that this is going to be identical to the one from the previous tutorial, but we're still going to go through it. Pass object play click del pass object exit click del. Whoops. Okay. And then in here, we'll set them to each other equals play click del, and exit click del equals exit click del. I'm sorry guys, I have something in my throat which is kind of killing me, so I apologize for the throat noises when they come through. Background is equal to new basic 2D. And so first thing we need to do is give it its string. We'll do that in a second. And then we need to set its position, which is a vector2. And we're going to set in the middle of the screen. So globals.screen width over 2. Globals.screen height over 2. And then we need to give it dimensions. And they are the same thing without the divided by 2's because, you know, it takes up the whole screen. So that's that. Okay. Next, we need to add some buttons. So buttons dot add new button 2D. We have our string. Oh, I guess we should finish the string on this one first. So this string is here. So 2D UI backgrounds main menu are main menu RPG. So 2D UI. Oops, that was terrible. UI backgrounds, and then I don't want to type that. It's just asking for a mistake. Okay, so we got that. Great. And then I think we don't have MISC. So, oh, we do, but we only have cursors. We don't have our MISC folder, so let's grab our MISC folder. From our previous games. Let's see, top-down shooter, content, 2D, MISC, simple button. That's what we need. Perfect. Okay, so let's grab that from our previous project. If you don't have this, go grab it. You can get it from any of the 10 numbered tutorials. So I would probably go to the 50th tutorial and then grab it. That way it has everything. But here we go. I'll try to remember to include it, but if I don't, then that's where it's at. Content. Takes a second. Copy if newer. Sweet. I gotta go to Android also. Content 2D. Good. We'll grab that again. MISC. Dump it in there. All right. Android asset. Copy if newer. Okay. That's done. So that's what we actually want to use, is that simple button right there. So 2D MISC, simple button. And again, this is art from our previous tutorial. I like to reuse things, even in games from back to back. So just, you know, it's wise to try to reuse things. It saves you time and energy, especially when you're doing early development. So new vector2 0 0, because we don't need a position on our buttons. We'll position them as we loop them out. New vector2, and then here I think the standard sizes that we used were 9632. So if those look terrible, I'll fix them, but I think that's what we use. New vector2 1 1, because it's only one frame. And then the fonts. Do we have fonts? I bet you we don't even have fonts. We don't have fonts. No problem. Guess what? We're just going to grab fonts from here. So content, fonts. We're just going to grab them all. No big deal. Content. Copy if newer. Sweet. Okay. And then same thing for our Android project. We need fonts and content. Android asset. So what I will say is clearly it's been a while since I wrote the prompt for this, and I didn't remember where I was, but we'll get all this added in. It's not a big deal. And we'll just keep moving along. So we want fonts Arial 16. It's also why we have a whole tutorial just getting to the character screen, is because we just don't have a lot in here yet. And we're going to use the exit del. Null, because we don't need to fill it with anything. We're going to copy paste this. I actually want that to be my second button. And then we're going to do everything's the same, except for instead of saying exit, it says play. And we have play, click, del, and then we're going to pass it a 1. Apologies for my phone going off. Okay, so that's our constructor. We have our delegates, which we use here. We save them. You don't have to. You could pass them straight in here, but I like to save them. You have our background, which we'll put in a second. We'll put in our update and draw. And we have our buttons. We're also going to have to do something that I knew we were going to have to do, and that's going to be that we change the way that we do our draws. And it's because 95+% of our draws need to be in the exact same place as we updated. You know, for you guys, it may even be 100%. So, what I do is I now get rid of my phone. That's what I'm going to do. What I do now is I save that. I did this years ago. In fact, I did it before the tutorials, but I wanted people to understand what I was doing. And since we've already done that in the tutorials, we're going to update our basic 2D to do that, to save the update location. And that way we have it already for our draw, and we don't have to worry about updating it in 2 places at once anymore. So we'll get to that in just 1 second. bkg.update. We already positioned this one, so we don't need to fix its update. But vector2.0 is what we're passing. And then we'll do bkg.draw. And this will just be this in just a second. So first things first, as I mentioned, we need to update this. So you can see it doesn't like taking nothing in. But if we come here and we add a vector2, the vector2 is going to be update offset. Then in update, we say update offset equals offset. So all we're doing is saving this offset. And then here, we're going to create another one that has no offset in it. And instead of offset here, it's going to be update offset. Okay. That would theoretically be good enough, but we also are going to update our animated 2D. And animated 2D, where are you, animated 2D? There you are. We are just going to completely remove this, this version of the, boy, my brain's not working, draw function. And then we just remove this. So now this one calls, well, in a second it will. Let me build it, make sure it's working right, but it should find, boy, that's taking a while to build. Failed. What did we not like? No suitable method to override. Well, I mean, clearly it has a suitable method to override. It's right there. Z-Engine Basic 2D. Z-Engine Basic 2D. Draw. Oh, that's update. Duh. So that was wrong. That was really dumb. We're doing it to draw. Some days, y'all. Some days. And then this is update offset. Okay, so now our basic 2D and our animated 2D work. We're going to do button 2D real quick, and I think that then we're going to be done for now. So we come in here, and it might break, so I'll build it in a second. But we take this out, and everywhere it says offset, we just write update offset. So it'll start erroring. Let's say, oh, we don't even have to do that one. And that offset is update offset, and I think that's that. I'm going to build to make sure that we don't have anything crazy that I'm forgetting. All right, everything succeeded, so we're good there. Okay, so that is just so that we can kind of in our draw, two things happen. Main menu, our draw. We don't have to put anything in here, right? We can just rely on this variable. So if we only have to update one of the two, and then secondly, you want as little happening in your draw as humanly possible. So this actually is slightly less. I mean, it's so infinitesimally small, it's really not worth talking about. But from a purist standpoint, that made things a little bit better. So yay. All right, next in main menu, we need to do our button loops. So we've already taken care of that issue, so that makes our button loops easy. So for and I equals 0, I less than buttons. Count I plus plus buttons I dot update, not update offset, update. And then in here, this is gonna be the same location it was in the old one, so that's where I'm getting this from. If you're wondering, so 325 600 plus 45 times I, and I'll explain that in just 1 second for those who weren't around for the original explanation of this. This is a base of 600, and then for every one we count up, it's going to drop at 45 pixels. So this happens first, and then we add there, so that's how that works. And then here, we're going to copy paste this. Now, normally we would have copy pasted this, and it would have been identical. But now we have to copy paste this and remove this to get our loop. Okay, so that gives us our buttons. We I don't think we don't need the options part. That's something later. I think that's everything. So we have our main menu. We can add that to main. So main menu, and then down here in load content, we will we'll place it. Where did I place it? Put it right at the bottom. So let's come down here and login screen. We're actually gonna comment out. We're not going to use that anytime soon, if at all. So we don't need that really anymore. So main menu equals new main menu, and then we need two functions, one for moving on and one for exiting the game. So those will be change game state. So public virtual void change game state object info, and then in here we're going to have something else that's going to happen. So globals dot game state equals info. Now what's wrong with this? Well, this is an object. This needs to be converted into an int. We don't have that capability right now. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to add it. So we come into globals, and in globals, right at the top, because it is alphabetically first here, we're going to have public static int convert to int, we're going to take in an object of info. And in here, we're going to say return convert to int 32 info culture. Now, in our previous tutorials, we just put this everywhere we wanted to put it, but this kind of helps. What's culture? Let me just show you. It is up here in globals, and it basically just says use English culture characters. So the commas and decimals are English culture common decimals versus I guess I should say American English versus some places in Europe the comma is right before the decimal and the decimal points are the spacers every 3 characters. It's different in different places in the world. That stuff will break your game, so you have to denote what you're dealing with. And in this case, we're dealing with English because I'm American, and that's just how I do things. If you want it different, change that. Okay. Now, we have that, so we need to come into main and then wrap that in that. So globals.convert to int, and that will convert that to an int. Okay, so that is our first function. So change game state, and then we have a second function, and this one is going to be the exit one. Let's see, what did I do with that one? I'm not even looking at the right page. Just exit game. Okay. Public virtual void exit game. This is also object info. And then here we're just going to say system dot environment dot, oh, there we go. Happy days. System environment exit 0. That just exits the game. No big deal. Okay, and then we're going to pass that one in here. So exit game. Okay. That's good. We still got to do our update and our draw. So between their mouse inputs, we're going to say if globals.gamestate equals 0, which you can see here, it initializes at 0. Then we're going to say main menu dot update. Sweet. And then we're going to copy that. We are going to come down here into our draw. We're going to place it right above the cursor because the cursor has to be the last thing that draws. And we're going to do draw. Okay. I'm going to fix a bug now before I forget. So we can, in cursor, we can just completely remove this. And then up to the update portion. Oh. No, first let's copy it, and then we'll put it in the update version. So cursor, and this is to update. And this is wrong. And the reason it's wrong is because that sits in the middle of our cursor, so we need to move the cursor over half its width and down half its width. So the corner of the cursor, the top left-hand corner of the cursor is where we're actually picking from. So we say cursor dems x over 2 plus cursor dems y over 2. You could just say cursor, you could do cursor dems over here, cursor dems divided by 2 plus this vector 2 if you wanted to, but this is also fine. Okay, we've done that. That's a bug fix. And yeah, so then we have cursor.draw with nothing because we don't need to do that anymore. Sweet. And happy days. I don't think we need this anymore. Yeah. Okay. So this should run our main menu. That should set a game state to 1 and make everything make everything go away. And it does. And then the other one should close the screen. Let's run it again, make sure that everything is working for our main menu. Here we go. Exit, closed it. Sweet. All right, both those are working. That's awesome. That's a good start. Next thing we need to do is our gameplay. So we started our gameplay. Awesome. Happy days. I guess we could quickly set that up in main first. So everything we just did with main menu, we do gameplay. We just go to everywhere main menu was and set that up. So gameplay equals new gameplay. We know that we are passing a 1 in here for the state, so we'll take this state here. We will paste it. We'll say else if game state 1 gameplay update. Copy that. Paste it here and draw. Okay, so that's the pipeline there. Okay. Next, we are going to take our main menu, and we're going to copy it. So, main menu, copy, source, gameplay, and then we're going to paste in there. We're going to rename it new char or character screen. No, we're not going to deal with that. Okay, we add it in here. Rename, copy. Okay, so in our new character screen, we are going to also have 2 delegates, but they're going to be different. This one is going to pass is 0, and it's not going to make us exit our game. What it's going to do is it's going to update a gameplay status or a gameplay state. So let's do that. Public virtual void change state object info state equals globals dot convert to int info. Okay, so whoop, that is not what I wanted. Oh, we don't have it here. That's why. Int state equals 0 state. Okay. Happy days. So we have this ability to pass that in. That's what's going to come into not main menu, new character screen here, and it'll go in there. We also need the exit. The exit is gameplay. E goes above G. This should have been change state, not game state. Now it should go here. Okay, public virtual void exit gameplay. Let me say object info, and then we're gonna we'll fill this in later. This is not important, but it'll give us the depth we need. We need to create our new character screen. Public new character screen, new char screen. Here we're going to new char screen. You know what? Actually, my prompt only has the one, so we are going to expand on the prompt, I think. New, because I don't like what I did. So here we have change state, and here we have exit gameplay, which we can implement later. It's not important. We have the update, so we're going to say if state equals 0, and then new char screen dot update, and then here we have the same thing but for draw. Okay, there we go. And then in our new character screen, we have all the same things, but we need to use a different background here. And then we have all that. We'll change this to start game. That may not fit on our box, but it doesn't matter. And then that's that. So if we run this, hopefully we can get to the character screen. All right, here we go. Hit play. New character screen. Start game. Puts us to our last state. Good. That is what we were trying to do for today. As you can tell, this is already a relatively long tutorial, which is why I didn't get into trying to make the character screen. And yeah, guys, if you've made it this far and you haven't already liked the video and subscribed to the channel and done all them things and shared it with people that might find it interesting, it would mean a lot to me if you would do that. You know, I do these things for you guys, but I do want this to get out to as many people as humanly possible. You know, it makes it easier to do all this stuff when it feels like it's succeeding, and I know that that's a arbitrary metric, but I do want this to get out there and have it be something that people really do use. I know people are using these tutorials. I know they're making their own games. They tell me about it. I'm very, very happy about that. That's why I come back and continue to do this stuff. And I'm really excited for this project, so I am trying to get to it and work through it. And now some of the more boring stuff is done, and we can actually start doing interesting things. Like I said, in the next tutorial, I plan on doing a basic character screen, and then we're going to save that character. Well, we probably won't do saving, actually. In the next tutorial, we'll probably just put it through and maybe give some basic movement controls, and that's that. Yeah, guys. Well, thank you for taking part in this, and I hope you guys are getting something out of this. I will see you guys again next time.